5. I'm back with lesson 3 today, so Wednesday's English lesson. And today we are learning to note initial ideas drawing on reading that we have done. Okay, so we now should have read Vanishing Cream, we should have read The Cat, and we should have read Introducing Peter. So those 3 chapters from The Daydreamer. So, earlier this week we did a mind map on Peter, who's our main character, didn't we? We created a bit of a character profile on him so we know what he's like. Today you are going to be choosing an object, a setting, and another character to add to your narrative, okay? So we will give you choices to pick from and you will create a small mind map for each one. And then this will help you when you come to actually drafting your narrative. You'll have some ideas about all of those things, okay? Really important. So, in Vanishing Cream, Peter found some vanishing cream which was described like this. So here you go, vanishing cream's in the middle. Thick white cream whose surface was smooth. A small dark blue jar with a black lid. A round, silky, creamy, cool. Okay, so that's the description that we're looking for to describe our object. Now clearly you're not going to use vanishing cream. We need a different daydream, okay, something different to happen. So you need to pick an object that will have magical powers in your daydream. So you're going to pick one of these 3 objects. It has to be one of these. A glue stick. Now, you don't have to decide that this is what the glue stick can do. It could do something else, but you have to pick one of these objects. So you could have the glue stick, where Peter can glue people he doesn't like to objects so that they can't move. You could have a ruler, and the ruler turns into a sword and Peter can fight people he doesn't like. Or you could have a pen, and whatever Peter draws with the pen comes to life. So you're going to write your object in the middle of your mind map. Imagine this is a blank page, you'd write it here. And you're going to write what the object will be able to do in Peter's daydream. You can magpie from the board, okay? So you can take these if you want to, or you can choose your own, as I've said. Include an expanded noun phrase and a relative clause. Use a thesaurus to vary or up-level your adjectives. So if you haven't got a thesaurus at home, you can look up a thesaurus on Google, okay? And then put in the word you're looking for some synonyms for, and it should give you some. And you need to pick one that fits. Don't pick any one, pick one that makes sense. There's a success criteria over here noting that we want expanded noun phrase and a relative clause. So, for me, I've picked the pen. And I am going to do, I quite like the idea that whatever Peter draws with the pen comes to life. But I now need to describe the pen, okay, in my little mind map. So I'm not going to do loads, I'm just going to give you an idea of what I might put down. So, I need an expanded noun phrase first. So I know that I need a noun, the pen, and I need an adjective that's paired with that describing word. So I'm going to say, let's do a line off. If I was at home, I'd have my ruler and my pencil doing that line. I'm going to say and I'm going to have the chunky, because it can be any pen you like. It could be a pencil. The chunky pen, so there's my expanded noun phrase. The chunky pen moved across the page effortlessly. So that gives an idea of how the pen writes, and it gives an idea of what it looks like. It's chunky. What else might I say about it? I think my pen's going to have black ink. Now, how could I put in a relative clause with that? I know that I need to use a relative pronoun. So I've got who, that, which. I'm going to have a relative clause in the middle, I think. The what pen? What could I say? What adjective could I use here? Maybe I'll just say the pen here, actually, because I've done an expanded noun phrases. The pen, and I'm going to say which had, so there's my relative pronoun, which had, and I'm going to say ink as black as the night sky. So I've used a simile there too, haven't I? I've used as. The pen, which had ink as black as the night sky. Now I can't finish there because I've got my relative clause in the middle, which is a type of subordinate clause, isn't it? It doesn't make sense on its own. So I have to have something that comes after or it won't make sense. So what do I want to say about my pen? I'm going to say felt good in Peter's hand. Okay, so there's two ideas. So I have got an expanded noun phrase. I have got a relative clause in there. Now, it's your job to choose your object, do a quick mind map on a page, and think about ways to describe your object, whether that's the ruler, the pen, or pencil would be fine, or the glue stick. And you must have at least one expanded noun phrase and one relative clause. But see what else you can tell us too. I've only done two there, but remember, the more you come up with, the easier it's going to be to write your narrative because you'll have a better backstory, a better idea of what you're using, what's going to be in there. Now, as well as your object, you need to choose the setting where it's going to be set. So you have a choice of two places. Either it can be set at Peter's house or it can be set at Peter's school. Okay, one of those. And you're going to do exactly the same thing. You're going to write the setting in the middle of a mind map and have some bits coming off, detailing, giving us an example of what that place looks like, okay? Detailing it for us. And again, we'd like an expanded noun phrase and a relative clause, at least one of each, okay? And the last one. Your narrative will also need to include at least one other character. You can choose between these people. So you've got Kate, Peter's younger sister. His friends or his classmates, so that might be if you're setting it at school. Thomas Fortune, which is Peter's dad, or Viola Fortune, which is Peter's mum. Okay, any one of those. Now I suggest choose one, okay, unless you're feeling super confident and you want to use more than one. But again, you're going to make a mind map to describe at least one other character. So remember, the more that you can jot down about them, the better you're going to know that character and you'll be able to write them better in your story. Now this time we'd like an expanded noun phrase, at least one, relative clause and parenthesis. So remember, you've got either brackets, dashes, or commas to indicate parenthesis, okay? So one of those, giving us additional information within those brackets or after your dash. Okay, now, great stuff. You should now know where your narrative will take place. What object will prompt Peter's daydream and will be the focus of it, and who else will be there with Peter, which other character, all right? So, the last thing that I would like you to do today, jot down your idea of what Peter's lesson's going to be, because throughout all of the daydreams that we've read so far, Peter's learned something, hasn't he? Even if it's something really small, he's learned a lesson, a life lesson. So I want you to think, what is going to be the lesson that Peter will learn from your daydream? Because you should have a really good idea as to what's going to happen now. All right? And that's the end of your task for today. Okay, amazing guys, good work. Really excited to see what you come up with. Thanks a lot, take care, see you later. Bye.